Let me fucking tell y'all.
What the fuck?
That is a banger. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of OTR Radio.
OT Rizzler, baby.
This is your host, the one and only D-Lowski, and my co-host, Denalski.
Denaliano.
Say what's up one time, fam. Hello, family. Welcome back. We appreciate y'all as always again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of OTR Radio. As always, we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. It means the world to us for you guys to like really be tuning in and doing the damn thing, listening. It really truly means a lot. Like we wouldn't be doing this if y'all weren't listening, right? Today we have another special guest. This guy, again, another one of my favorite people out in LA doing the damn thing, man. This guy has had releases all over the place with South of Saturn, Hood Politics. Let me keep reading the list, guys. The list goes on and on.
Techno music.
Techno. Keep reading it, bro.
Rim.
Man, it's nonstop, man. Bread and butter. Give it up for the one and only Stanley Kubrix one time. Say what up, fam.
Hey, what's up, fam? How you all doing?
How are you, brother?
Good. Glad to be here. I'm excited for this.
Thanks for being here.
I appreciate it.
It's honestly an honor, bro, and I'll tell you why. The first season of OTR Radio, you had been a thought for us to do this, but I felt like we were not ready to talk to you.
You were a big dog on our list for sure.
Damn.
And I mean that with a lot of sincerity and being real genuine with you, because I really truly feel like you are on the rise. You are really the one like setting the stone for like the new upcoming wave of like artists. Like I tell him we do this thing like if we're like the XO class of freshmen, like the freshman list, like the rap list.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so like every group has like those like couple that we know like are really doing something. And your class in particular, and I put you in the group with like John and them, you guys are really fucking strong. You guys are really like are the next ones up, man. It's a fucking beautiful thing to see, man.
Thank you, man.
So props to you, man.
Appreciate that.
Let's just start off with it, man, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Man.
Yeah. What do you guys want to know?
Everything.
Everything, right? And I think within the hour and a half that we do this thing, bro, I think I just want to get to know you more, man. I want to know a little bit more about you, man, and just kind of where this all started for you, man. Like, has music really always been a part of your life? Like, when did music really become predominant for you? When was a music festival even introduced to you? When was the transition of being an attendee to like actually wanting to be a DJ? You know, like all this stuff I feel like is very important, not just for me, but the listeners that like are fans, man.
From the crowd to the decks.
Okay, yeah. So my family, all musicians, all of them, they all play instrument. I'm the only one that actually doesn't play an instrument, actually.
Really?
Which is kind of funny, yeah. I always get teased about that. I remember my dad, he was, it was a Sunday, getting a little pregame going on, and he's like, Nico, come over here. He's like, tell your uncles what you do for a living. He's like, this guy plays other people's songs, and someone pays him for that. Can you guys believe that?
Fuck.
It was funny, though. It was good. I was like, and he's like, but, good shit. Good shit. So
that's fucking dope, man.
Yeah, so, and then essentially it came from the rock world. That was what I was interested in at first, and of course, just like many people, my first experience going to a rave, I think it was the Shrine or something like that back in the day, and of course started with a girl, right? I was like, oh, I'll never go there. I can't go there. I'm a straight edge guy. I don't do anything like that.
Yeah.
No.
Found your pretty rave girl.
Yeah, and then she opened my mind. And ever since then, I was so stoked with how they did it and what they were doing. I actually thought they were performing the music at first. I didn't realize that there was, at that time it was, I guess a mix between vinyl and the first CDJs. So it was right at that transition. People were trying to figure out like where they wanted to go after vinyl. Some people were trying to stay purists, you know. Other people were moving into the software at that time.
Yeah.
And then of course the CDJs, right? Okay. You know, the first, you know, and that was like obviously the best, you know, because it was the closest to the vinyl, except for like stuff like Serato Scratch, which I think they still rock.
They still do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Club DJs, I think still, you know, still rock that. That makes sense. So yeah, once I figured that out, I was like, no way. And of course, I'm being like, you know, oh, I'm gonna go vinyl. So I went vinyl, and accumulated a large record collection, and then lugging that everywhere was always fun. You know, breaking your back, you know, with the coffin too.
That's
that was
insane.
always good times. Yeah.
Wow.
So you always carry that stuff, dude. It was, and then it's great now because what. You just put that in your pocket, right?
Yeah,
it's easy.
It's easy now, you know.
Just a little stick on you, you know.
Yeah, it's great.
That's insane, man. So coming from like the era of like vinyl, like the transition from analog to digital, man. Like, was it new? Like, was it something that you were okay with?
It was weird. Yeah, because like I said, you know, some people were sticking with vinyl, and then you know other people were moving on, and it really hit me once I found this one track, and I was obsessed with it. I thought it was so good. And I couldn't get it on vinyl. I was actually buying it from the UK at that time. And long story short, I go to an EDC when it was still in Los Angeles.
Wow.
And like I heard it 3 times on 3 separate stages, and I was like, I knew this was amazing. I knew this was
wow.
I knew this was good.
It's like a nice little toot on your horn because you're like, I know good music.
Right. And that vinyl wouldn't be available till another 12 months or something. So I was like, I gotta switch. This is not gonna work. So then did the whole Serato Scratch stuff, and then now, you know, of course, the whole CDJ thing, which was hard. That was a hard transition considering they were so expensive, right? So basically, I would go to Guitar Center and be like, you know, I'm actually very interested in these 2000s here. Mind if I test these out, right? You know. After a while, they're like, dude, just go to the decks, man.
Yeah, just go.
We know you're going to practice there, bro. So just do your thing. So, pretty funny.
Now, overall, during that time, man, like, what would you say? Obviously, you enjoyed the music, man. Where was that transition of like, man, I think I want to do more than just, you know, listen to the music. I want to be actually like spinning, man.
Actually, when it first started, I got virtual DJ, and I was like, as soon as I got that, I was like, oh, you can record your own, what would you call those, like mashups and stuff, right?
Yeah,
right. So after that, I was like, oh my God, I got to figure out how to do this. So then, of course, moved into Ableton, and I think it was like Ableton 7 or something like that. That was a while back, and that was quite a process. And but yeah, started there, and actually took quite a while, which was good though in a weird way. I remember the first song I ever made. I gave it to my girlfriend at the time, and she said something very profound to me at this point. She goes, "I would have danced to that." And you know what?
Fuck.
You know what? I showed her every single one of my songs after that. You know what I mean? Because until I got her to be like, ooh, oh yeah, this is great. I'm like, okay, cool.
Let's
I
run
could
with
put
that.
this one. Yes. So I was like, perfect. She gave me an honest feedback.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You need those people.
You need those. I always try to get you one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still send her tracks, you know? For
Interesting.
a while. Yeah.
Now, at one point though, do you say like, you're not? I guess how I would word it is, even though they're giving you feedback, where do you draw that line of, well, this is my creative, like,
good point.
You know, like I want to go this way though.
You might not
That's a good
understand
question.
it, but I do.
Right. And that's a very fair point. And for me, I think it comes down to I never throw anything away. You know what I mean? Because again, like you said, the one person that's not digging this, the next person might think that's the best new thing, right? Or they're just not used to that sound as well. You know, the what's cool is like, you know, you take let's say, I don't know, a big room track, right? You're getting full frequencies from highs, mids, lows. Everything's just slamming right at you at like really good EQ and precision, etc. Then you go into something like, say, a minimal tech track, or maybe, maybe something that would be played at like Elro, right? And it's crunchy, it's analog-y, it sounds like it just came through, went through the sands or something. Crispy, right? It's in it totally. So like, you don't know if that, say, EDM fan, they might be like, this is kind of boring. But under the right circumstances, right, at like an afters, as we were talking earlier, it's a great environment. You have mainly subs and mid-range speakers, so it sounds great. And plus, too, you kind of don't want that piercing high, late at that late night. So it works out really well. And that's something I used to look out for, like, what's the music going to sound like on the sound system that they usually play at? So, So I think Bro House was interesting, too, because it was mainly mid-rangey. And kind of like a distorted sub, which sounded really good, and like some crappy speakers you had in your backyard or something. And I think that's why a lot of frat parties kind of like gravitated towards it, because it sounded really good.
That's an aspect I had not even thought about.
Man, you put me on game. I actually didn't really think about that.
The cogs turning in my head. I'm like, oh shit, wait.
That makes a lot of sense when you like break it down like that, though.
Yeah,
it's something that's more. You would say maybe more interesting to listen to at that frequency because of what's given off.
Right.
Wow.
That's interesting, man. I didn't even think about it like that.
In a way, with my EP, I kind of did that. I aimed for a warehouse sound, and I go play in warehouses, and it's fucking slapping.
Sounds great,
but if I play it somewhere else, I'm like, okay,
check it out on my phone, bro.
Yeah, it's like not the same.
Right.
Not the same.
Not the same. Yeah, I feel that.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Now, you've built like an impressive release list across a bunch of different labels. South of Saturn, Happy Techno, Rim, Bump and Grind, and a lot more. Like, how do you decide where these tracks go when you're making these?
Well, that's a good question.
Are you making them specifically for those labels?
That's a good question. Like I said, I don't throw everything away, right?
Gotcha.
So maybe this label doesn't like it. Maybe this one will. It's a little bit of both. And a little bit of luck, too.
Okay.
So I'll start with one, the South of Saturn release. I was attending this event called Space Taco, right?
Yeah.
Pomona.
Shout out Space Taco.
Shout out Space Taco. And at the time, they just started doing their label.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, perfect. I didn't know anybody. I would go there by myself and just try to do the open decks.
Yeah.
I would never make it, but at that point, I was just giving my music out to the DJs that were there. So I was like, oh, just giving out USBs and stuff. And long story short, I got connected with their sister label called Slightly Sizzled. And
I know what you're talking about.
they were running for a while. And long story short, in one of the group chats, there was this cat, this cat that had access to the A&R of Repopulate Mars. And at the time, that was like one of my favorite labels.
Yeah.
And he's like, send me your music. I'm like, oh my God, like this is my chance. So I sent him my music. He's like, it was so funny. I sent him way too many songs. He's like, Jesus, that's too many songs. Just this one and this one.
Give
okay?
me your best.
Yeah, just use these ones. I was like, all right, cool. And at that point, I get in correspondence with the A&R there. And for over 2 years, I pitched them. Just
No way.
Nope. One time it was a yes. I was like, oh my God, it's here. 6 months later, you know what? That's a nope.
No
and that's
way.
just, I'm that,
Damn, stings a little, to say the least.
Wow.
It can, right? And, but that's part of the game, right? And I was so new. I was so fresh. And I had this tiny little access where, I'd make sure it was in the same email chain, over and over, just so you could see like, hey, we're talking, right?
Yeah, you know me. Yeah.
You know me, and just not try to irritate him. And of course, at that point, you asked me, do you make your music for the label? Then that's when I realized, I'm like, well, okay, look, I gotta get at least it in the ballpark of the label, And I was. It seems obvious now. It's like, well, duh, that makes sense. You want them to be like, oh yeah, that's a Repopulate. Oh yeah, that's a South of Saturn, etc. So that's when I started kind of getting it more into that sound. But of course, you got to put your own flavor on it too.
Yeah.
You can't just copy somebody because they ain't gonna like that either. They might even get offended at that point, you know. So I remember at that era, I was really into chopping and slicing random vocals, and I think I took a indie Mexican singer-songwriter, and I chopped her up, and I actually made her, at the end of it, she sounded like Middle Eastern. And you can't tell what anything she's saying.
Really?
Yeah, and it's wild, actually. Actually, when it came out, that was pretty nuts. Some kid came up to me, and he was like, "Oh, dude, Stanley, what's up?" I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Dude, I love your song." And he sang it, and it sounded just like it. I'm like...
And that's something you chopped up
Yeah,
and made yourself, and he's just
nothing. It's nonsense, but it sounded good. I'm like, whoa. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, and then bam, when that came out, I was super jazzed because, again, one of my favorite labels. And then it took a whole nother year to get out too, right? You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
So 3 years total.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And they were cool with just the one track. They weren't expecting.
Good question. You know, at that point, yeah, no, I'm sorry. They took 2 tracks of mine.
Okay.
They made it an EP. That's
Gotcha.
right. They made it an EP. And yeah, it was actually the B-side that actually took off. So again, you never know which one's going to be.
Oh, man, and I'm going to sound like a fake fan, but La Playa?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
that was it. Yeah.
I remember that, actually, bro. I was super hyped for you. It was so
thank
sick,
you.
man.
Yeah,
Dude,
that was
that's
fun.
That's one of. I used to play that track a lot, honestly.
Man, thank you. Dude.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the
for
honor,
real.
man. That's
It's
really,
a banger,
really cool.
man. And as someone listening to this, trying to, like, you know, navigate their way as a producer, man, like, getting rejected so many times like you did to, like, a label that you look up to, how do you, like, how does one feel, and how do you overcome still wanting to send something to that label?
And you gotta use it as fuel at that point, right?
I mean, it's yeah, that's what you tell yourself, but you still feel like shit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like,
You're not wrong.
you know, you tell
bro.
everybody else, yo, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, but crying yourself to sleep,
Right?
man.
Like, you know, yeah. So I think that's part of the process too, and you know, sometimes we as artists, sometimes the fuel is the depression, is the sadness too. You know, I remember when I broke up with another ex, she's like, "Well, at least you're gonna make good sad music now." I'm like,
Fuck.
"Oh," but she was right though.
She was right.
She was right.
Some of the best music I ever made after a breakup.
Right.
100%.
So, there you go. Right. So that's yeah. And like they always say, you know, you need the tough skin. Tough skin is important. Also, maybe I'm actually getting more into the aspect of not ignoring the feeling, letting the feeling happen. I've been realizing, wow, once you actually let the feeling happen, it goes over.
Yeah, let it run through.
Let
right?
it run through.
Yeah, don't absorb it and
Don't-
hold
right.
on to it, but acknowledge it and
Interesting.
let it flow through.
Let it flow through, and actually it eventually leaves. Versus old school me would be like, nah.
Be avoidant, right?
Avoid it. You know, I'm fine. And then it just keeps knocking.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like got 10 other buddies that are waiting to come inside.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's wild, man. You know, you amaze me the way, like, you're able to, like, describe shit like that, because let me tell you, man, I'm sorry, I'm lost for words there for a second. Give me a second.
No, you're good. No, you're good. You know, I mean, basically too, like, you know, when it comes to handling the rejection, here's another way I would handle it is, like, for example, I would make a list of, say, like, I like 50 labels that are roughly in the same ballpark of my track. Give it to the first one. Nope. Good. Fine. Second one. Nope. Fine. Third one. Oh, you like it. Cool. Kind of helped get rid of that anxiety, because you have 50 more, you know,
But
that
where
are
do
roughly
you,
the same.
where do you, like, you know, kind of taper that off, though? Because obviously you don't want to keep sending it to different labels, and then all of a sudden 2 of them pick up the same track, right?
Oh yeah, you wait a period. You know, you give them some time. You know, I mean, I was a little scallywag with it, but you know, the respectful way is you want to at least wait at least a few days. You know, anywhere they used to say like 2 weeks. I think that's crazy. That's way too long. I think a respectful like 2-3 days. 2, 3, 4 days. If by that chance, if they haven't notified you or anything. Now, I have come into the circumstance where you described where, finally the first label comes back and says, hey, I actually love it. It happens. But you know what? At that point, they're kind of invested. So they're like, no problem. Send me the next one. And then,
you get your foot in the door.
You get your foot in the door, which is nice. Now you have a more direct contact that they're, you don't have to go through the promo email per se.
Yeah.
Hey, hit me up directly. So generally that's been the experience. I did have one label, but this was back in the day where I sent it to them. They're like, oh, wow, this is really sick. We really love it. Let's keep talking. And I sent it to another label on the same day. You're not supposed to do that, but I did. And they have to be sister labels, and it was the same girl.
Oh, fuck. Damn.
She's
buddy.
like, you just sent it to the other label. I'm like, oh, my bad.
Oh, no.
All right.
Oh, shit.
I guess we're not going with that.
Yeah, so not signed then.
All right.
Damn.
My bad. So,
Now,
yeah.
As from your first release to now,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of evolution
Yes.
in the Stanley Kubrix project and your sound in general. Walk
Right.
us through that. From your original idea to it to what you have going on now.
Stanley Kubrix particularly? Yeah, sure. So I lived in Florida for, actually, at the time, I was doing a dubstep group with a drummer, and we got to play EDC as a Discovery Project winner.
No way.
Yeah, so we got to do I think it was like maybe the second EDC in Vegas, something like that.
Wow, I didn't know that, man.
It was
Damn, what the hell?
It was crazy, and but right after that, literally after that show, which I almost missed. That was scary. That was so scary. Might as well tell about that. That was nuts. So at the time, I was I'm late to the show, right? And the traffic's insane,
it's a mess, man. Yeah.
Right? So we're driving, and it's just going bumper to bumper, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. So I told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, I'm just gonna run.
No.
Yeah.
Hopped out the whip.
I hopped out of the car, got all my stuff at the
Ran
time.
through the speedway,
just started running to the speedway. I didn't know where I
up.
was going. Yeah, I was just like running, and then I saw the helicopters coming through. Like, I'm like, somebody's got to help me here. So those helicopters are coming through. I'm like, I run. I don't even know if they had a gate or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is.
I
walked right in. I was like, hey, I'm an artist. I need to get to stage XYZ. And she's like, oh, no problem. Hop in. Got in this like little ladybug, and then she drove me all the way to the stage. I was like, oh my God, I fucking made it, dude. Like, oh my God.
Getting carted over.
Yeah, getting carted
got
over.
him to the Greek.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. And then the funniest part is like I get there, I'm like, all right, cool. So they're like, all right, you're next. Do you need anything? Yeah, I was like, yeah, I heard you guys got Serato set up. They're like, nobody said anything about Serato. I'm like, oh, give me 10 minutes, right? So hook all that thing back up. And it was wild. I remember once I looked up, started DJing, the dance floor was gone. There was nobody there. And I was like, oh my God, no. So started DJing, and at the time I made lighters and t-shirts.
Okay.
Everybody wants a lighter, right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs a lighter at the rave. So I just started throwing them, just throwing them on the floor. I can't believe they didn't stop me because I was just throwing lighters. So people would walk by and they're like, what the hell is that? It was a lighter. And then I'm like, yeah, I got some more.
Just throwing them?
Just throwing them, yeah.
Bro, what the hell?
And sure, then people started accumulating. And then by the end of it, it was packed. And I have friends that I went to preschool with that didn't know I was there. Just happened to be walking by, took this sick ass video of me like on the drop. I throw it, the lights are going nuts, the whole place is packed. So that's one thing to try to I guess could help, thinking outside the box. Like, how else can I get attention against Tiesto at the time or something? You know what I mean? So it was it worked out really well. I remember walking back out and being like, holy crap. But anyway, so from there I literally left and went on this massive road trip across the United States. And then I had some friends living in Florida. And when we were over in Florida, at the time, it was really neat because it was the first time I got to see house music in like a casual bar or club scene.
Really?
Yeah. So over here, we're really trying to get the electronic music into the clubs. It was mainly in the raves, right? Makes sense. Undergrounds, like it still is today, which was great. But it was very difficult to have them in the clubs because nobody drank, right? Mm-hmm. So, the clubs would have a lot of issues having electronic events because, again, they need to make money, right? So when I went to Florida, it was neat. They had that there. So that's what got me really into house. And then, it was nice and started getting that back into it because I actually kind of gave it up after that. And long story short, Dirty Bird came through. I don't know if you guys ever remember Dirty Bird. Well,
yeah. I do, man.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
Claude.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. And of course that changed it, right? Because then all of a sudden they mixed house with like California hippie weird psychedelic.
They
That
changed the
wonky
vibe.
sound,
they
man.
gave it something like fresh.
Right.
Camp Dirty Bird happened, man.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever go?
I did. I went to the one over there in Florida that got canceled. Yeah, right off.
No
the bat.
way.
Yeah, it was nuts. They were telling us literally, "Do not come. It's over," and we just still went. And the volume had to be at like a super low volume, and they ended at 8:00. But since everything shut off on the day, they went to all of the what do you call that? The renegade stages.
Oh, okay.
So all of a sudden, bam, there's Claude Van Stroke of this tiny little renegade. You know what I'm saying? It was sick.
That's fucking dope, man.
Really
that's
cool.
That's wild. I didn't even know that happened out there.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Randomly intimate.
Yes. Random as hell. Yeah, it was wild.
So keep walking us through, man. So then from there.
Sure. So then from there, started getting to that sound, started working with the crews over there in Florida. And there was this club called Cash Only that we all kind of convened at, and that became like a little central hub for all the
little HQ.
Yeah, for all the little promoters kind of going at it. And so we kind of, at that point, I kind of like accumulated everybody together. That was like kind of my whole goal. Like everybody was kind of going against each other at the time, competing. So I was like, dang, dude, if we just put our little crowds that we have together, we could really like, tear this up. Yeah. So we started doing that, and one of the crews that we worked with, shout out to Dunright and Rue,
shout out,
the guy,
man. Yeah.
and we started rocking that. And then he had a Miami Music Week show that we got to work with Dr. Fresh and his
fire.
That was super cool, and Phlegmatic Dogs and
fire.
Yeah, it was really neat. It was really fun. And after that. He was like, have you ever been to Elro? And I was like, no, I've never been. He's like, well, you didn't come with us. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm good. And, the tickets were like $300. I was
like, shit.
Yeah, it was really expensive.
Was that a one-day thing?
Yeah, it was like Patrick Topping.
Oh,
it was like all the big guys at the time. And then once I entered that area, then I was like, oh my God, okay. Minimal tech house. This is so cool, right? And I just fell in love. So that once that hit me, then I started moving into that. Yeah, so that would be the start of the Stanley Kubrix birth. Yeah.
Wow. Now, what were you going by before that then?
I did go by The Beat Kids, which was the dubstep one, and then I had Nico Mendez, which was Electro House, and but yeah, didn't really. I would say, like I said, I would have random things. Like we got to do Nocturnal. That was dope.
Wow.
That was dope. They got the same rig that they had for Travis Barker and DJ AM at the time.
No shit.
Yeah, they really they spent way too much money on us.
Wow.
Hey, it's a carry on.
Yeah,
man.
I was like, I'll take it. Little trailer and everything. I was like, oh man, this is cool.
No, that's so fucking sick.
So,
but now I know the change doesn't stop there either, though. I know you even had a bit of a rebirth happen not too long ago as well.
Yes,
can you kind of walk us through like why?
What influenced the change?
And why? Yeah,
absolutely. Going back to when we were saying like how we're gonna control our, not control, but deal with emotions or at that point, I didn't know what was happening, but it was almost like I was running out of gas, mentally, physically. I was spreading myself way too thin, trying to do too much stuff, right? And as I was trying to figure that out, long story short, I finally just said, you know what? I don't even know what good music is anymore. This guy saw a lot of it, right? Yeah. And I was going back and forth to Florida. I couldn't even make a song anymore. I couldn't tell what was good or not. Yeah.
Do you think it was from just being out too much, or just trying to work?
Oversaturation.
Yeah, it was a
culmination of things.
Put it this way, like they say, when you're doing it and you're not thinking about it and you're just rolling and you're just like, hey, this would be cool, and you're not overthinking it, everything flows, right? Everything moves, and it was flowing. Then we had the opportunity to send our music to Insomniac, right? We got to connect with it. And long story short, I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, this is Insomniac. We got to make sure it's this. We got to make sure it's that. I started overthinking it. Wow. I should have just gave them the tracks we were working on. Probably would have been at least better. And from that, everything just started cascading, different
self-sabotage, you feel?
Oh yeah. Just you could even say that imposter syndrome, started kicking, right? It's just kind of losing that kind of aspect myself. So what I did, I finally just said, all right, I'm shutting it all down. And totally isolated for like
a couple months.
3 months, 3 or 4 months, and do nothing.
I remember your page going dark, and then everyone kind of bringing up like, hey man, have you talked to Stanley? No one's talked to Stanley in a month or two, and even Rich, because I know you see him from time to time, like he was like, dude, I haven't seen this guy in a minute, like I have to see what's up with him. I think he even hit you up one time.
He did.
To check up on you and see how you were doing. But yeah, man, I was really kind of trying to figure out, like, decipher what was happening from the outside.
Yeah.
Because it felt like you were even kind of leaving some clues, like, as to like how you were posting things and like
it's being cryptic.
Yeah, there you go. Very cryptic of things. And I think overall, man, I just wanted to see the rebirth more than anything, because I knew, dude, you're a fucking awesome producer.
Something was loading, you know?
Yeah.
You're an amazing producer.
Cooking.
Yes.
You have, I think, you have an endless opportunity. I feel like when it comes to this thing, you're a mastermind. You're mastering your own tracks. You're mastering. Shout out Casper, man. We didn't shout him out, but he is here today. Shout out Casper. Get on the mic one time. Yeah, you're mastering his tracks, man. You're mastering like all the homies' tracks. Like you're really in it, man. And
thanks, man.
I really wanted to see what was like what was going to come out from it, because there was no way I could see you just letting all this go.
Right.
Right. When you were going through that, though, when you did say, fuck it, man, I'm letting it go, like, did you feel relief? Did you feel like...
I was terrified.
Were you terrified?
I was terrified. Like, oh my God, I'm literally going to give up all my connections in the scene. Because, again, it doesn't take that long to you disappear.
To disappear, right?
To get forgotten,
Oh, yeah, you're gone. There's 10 other people that get ready to fill in that spot.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. Rightfully so. If you're not going to be in the game, then you're leaving a spot open. So, but I was terrified. But basically, I started to go back a little bit into my Native American culture, actually, and I started delving back into that, getting into trying to figure out what was going on. Why do I feel this way? And we all have this. Like,
no, absolutely.
Put it this way: I don't know if you guys ever played this video game or heard of it called Persona 5. Okay, right.
I haven't, but okay.
I'll get a long story short.
Sure.
So the one of the main premises is that everybody has a little trauma that they go through. So then that trauma makes a mask.
Interesting.
Right, and then once the character finally realizes that they have that trauma, faces the trauma, they rip the mask off. But instead of the mask being ripped off, the mask becomes a superpower.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
So, I kind of like that concept of like, I had so many masks that I put on, I need to be this way, I need to do it this way, that I didn't even realize that I was almost like an automatic robot person.
It feels like that.
Wearing too many freaking masks that I didn't even know who I was. So then once I started ripping that off, which the isolation helped with, to just start to disconnect from serving too many people. And it's not even like they asked for it either. That's the funny part. I just started doing it, right? And like, so I can't blame them either. It's not their fault. They'd be like, hey, how's it going, Stanley? Oh, pretty good. Can I master your track? Is that all right? And they're like, sure.
Yeah. So you're just adding it on to yourself.
Yeah, just trying to overcompensate because I felt I needed to, do
You want to get that service, yeah.
Right. So, and please, that's nothing against that. Please do it. It helps. It's going to help you, but, manage it, right?
Yeah.
Don't
with balance.
with balance, right? With rest and whatnot. Yeah.
No, that's a big one, man. During that time of isolation, were you just mainly focused on just like getting like your chakras aligned? Were you focused like what was
just recharging?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, I started getting really into that too as well. Wasn't into it at first. I didn't believe in any of that stuff, but for what it's worth, it really helped. Even got into tarot too.
Really?
Dabble into that. Yeah, actually, the situation that I had was I kept coming up that I had the symptoms were kept being childhood neglect, right? But
Interesting.
but I was like, wait, when was that? Like I don't remember that. So in a weird way, I actually used tarot to try to rediscover what happened.
Did it work?
Yeah, it turns out my grandma put a binding spell on me.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
It's wild.
How do you find this out?
Well,
through tarot?
Through the tarot, I suspected something weird with my grandma. Okay. There had to be something weird. I suspected. Did she, Yeah. Did she? So did something like that happen? Like weird, and it pops up. Oh yeah, your grandma was into witchcraft.
Really?
All right, he knows too. He's like, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And now you kind of think like, okay, well, one, how do you prove that? Well, I would go to my pops. I would go like, Pops, does this like convene? He's like, oh yeah, that is kind of weird. She was always messing with candles and stuff. And I'm like, what the? Whoa.
Yeah.
So
messing with candles.
Bob's like, I don't know what she would do with those damn candles.
Oh my God.
Whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And there was this one moment, and now I live with my pops and my nephew, right? And I'm actually in my grandma's old room, right?
No shit.
Yeah, that's also kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
And I had this strange feeling, and I was like, man, this is weird. I can't believe I'm uncovering this. This is wild. And basically, I did another round of tarot, and then at this time, I was using it through an AI too. And
really?
Yeah, which is a weird way to do it.
Interesting.
And, yeah, very strange. And then it tells me, why don't you do this? I go. They asked, is her presence around you in any way, like an item or something? Sure. I'm like, well, I'm in her room. I was like, oh shit. Okay. Look in the vents.
Nah.
Look behind dressers. See if you could find anything like an effigy or a doll or a coin. As soon as it said fucking coin, I freaked out because when I came back to Florida, I went back to my pop's house. I found a photo of me as a baby with a coin on top of the head. I was like, that's weird. Yeah, it was super strange. So then, of course, I busted out and I put it into the AI. I'm like, yeah, dude, there's this photo of me with a coin on top of my head. And it's like, it's probably just a blessing. Most likely it's a blessing. Well, what kind of coin is it? Is it a rare coin or a normal coin? And it was like, it's a rare coin. It's a coin of the Pope, I guess from the Vatican.
Whoa.
And it literally wrote back, shit. I was like, oh shit.
No way.
Yeah. So very interesting, right? Again, was never a believer in any of this stuff. How does that even make sense, right? Like,
yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna, you know what? I don't want you to succeed. Boom. Hit him, right?
What does that do for her?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
What a freak,
Whoa,
right?
Man,
I think she was just according to my readings, she was fearful of what I was going to become. She didn't like that. She didn't like that. I had maybe a little spark. That,
that's crazy.
Super crazy. Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah. So I was finding at that time so then now I'm really getting into this, tarot and stuff, and then about healing, self-healing, like, so because I'm like, now I gotta fix that.
Yeah, of course.
bitch, right?
This was just recent.
No,
I mean,
when I first
during
started,
this
I was
time,
yeah, maybe about 6, 7, no, at least 7 months ago, 8 months ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty recent.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, fairly. Yeah. Again, went from non-believer in anything like that. You know, this is all placebo. It's all in the real
Everyone's
world.
head, yeah.
Yes,
Well, I was not either until I'm hearing the story. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's wild.
Yeah,
man.
it was super nuts. But yeah, it opened me up, and that's when I started getting back to my native roots, and getting back into spirituality. I used to go to powwows when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And some elder gave me this staff with it has 3 layers of fur, and it's wrapped around with leather binding, and on top is an antler. And I was like, what the hell is, now that I'm like, okay, what is this? Turns out, which was wild, because about 1 year before this, I was going through it. I had a really good friend. Her name's Shay. Shout out Shay.
Shout out Shay.
And she was helping me out big time, and she hired a Reiki healer, again, without my knowledge. And I remember when I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just do it. Whatever, no problem. And,
Just get through it. Yeah.
Just get through it. And then I realized, I was like, okay, this is meditation. Cool. You know what? This doesn't make sense. And then the lady goes around like, now let me look at your auras. And then she goes to my friend. She's like, my goodness, I am just seeing these beautiful browns and golden light. And then of course my friends, I've been working on my chakras, I was just cringe, right? And then she goes over to my friend Shay, who's blonde, looks like Barbie, right? So she's like, oh my god, I'm seeing these pinks, and I'm like, fuck, so I could see the pink too, bro. Like, what are you talking about? This is stupid, know? And then she comes over to me, and of course I got to be a jackass. And I was like, what do you see, brown? Like just
fucking around,
dark, right?
Yeah.
And she actually looks at me. She like jumped back like that. I'm like, oh shit, what did she see?
Yeah.
And she's like, there was a wolf making any sense. I'm like, what, a wolf? She's like, I don't know. There's like this dog wolf spirit, and she's just like collecting her stuff, and she's like putting it away, and she actually left.
Really?
Yeah. And
because how strong your energy that you were giving off?
Well, I supposedly she saw a wolf. And insane, yeah, super insane.
Yeah, it's a super heavy omen, wolf,
right? Yeah. And I thought at that time, I was like, hell yeah, lone wolf, do it all myself.
He said,
that's
sick, me.
Sick.
I ain't no sheep, I'm
hell
a wolf.
nah, dude, do it all myself. Turns out in native spirituality, the wolf means you need to go back to your family.
No shit.
I was like, no, fuck that one. There's got to be one that says, we're the lone wolf, man. We're the lone wolf.
He said, give me the good one, little shit.
Give me the good one. And all of it was like, no, it means you need to go back to your pack. And I'm like,
wow.
Damn. And I was sick at the time. I was anemic. So I didn't know at the time. But I needed to come back to home. And it was a while once I finally realized what that stick was. Supposedly it's to summon spirit animals. I'm like,
what the fuck?
What the hell's going on? This
Dude,
makes no sense, right?
Ain't no way.
Yeah. So after that, the music I finally got to open up and started to relax and started to embrace what I was like really into. And that's when I started getting into I didn't know what it was called at the time, but they call it organic house. So, it's like...
is that what we started off with, would you say? Or
is
a little different?
It's a good question. That actually started off as an organic house track. And John was... dude, he's the one that got us on that release with Unlearn. And that's the same... Unlearn is the record label of Doc Brown, who runs Groove Cruise.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I was like, oh, sick. He's like, oh, he likes our other song. Oh my God, it's Waiting. And at that point, he's like, hey, he wants an EP. But I was like, damn, I'm kind of doing this like organic house thing now, So what he did was obviously he sped it up, and we kind of made it a little bit more techie. So it's like a weird mix between like tech house or...
Oh, it's definitely unique, man.
Yeah.
It grabbed everyone's attention here. So.
Nice. But,
now, we brought up a little bit ago, you were speaking to AI.
Yeah.
I I just watched
the devil itself, right?
No. Well, that's the thing. So I was just watching a couple videos, and I saw some artists that are like promoting it and saying it's good for music production, or to not really be fighting it anymore. This goes with David Guetta, with Anima.
Good way to say it, actually. Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Would you say that's just part of what we're dealing with now? Would you say
It's like
fuck no, fight it still?
If
like,
you can't beat it, join it kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that's definitely where I'm at. It's been a great tool. It has. Put it this way though, the way I've never used it to like make songs. Like I tried. Don't get me wrong. I was like, okay, let's see what it does.
Yeah.
It was never. It was never there. I don't know if it's changed since I last tried. That was a while ago. But what's great about it is like, hey, you know what? I'm having this odd frequency issue. Okay, XYZ. I'm not really sure what's going on. You know,
Use a producer tool.
Yeah. Okay. Have you tried this? Okay. How about this? Since you're switching from, say, minimal tech and like Latin tech, right, where the focus, going back to the frequencies, you know, you're moving into organic, different stage, different speakers, different system, different vibe, different energy. They want different things, right? So I had to readjust my frequency mapping per se, right? The more emphasis on that really nice, heavy, thuddy kick, like versus the boomy.
Yeah, like a punch.
Yeah, like a punchy, like 909 punch. I was like, oh, it's an 808 with like a tom on it, right? Like, and I'm like, oh, okay, organic, right? You put an organic instrument on top of it, and now all of a sudden it's got this like kind of round feel.
Yeah.
And you want it real short, and so AI would help me out with that big time, And then too, at the time, it was cool. I could give it my track and be like, "Oh, what do you think?" And it would be like, "Oh, that one sucks." I'm like, "All right, cool,
Really?
let's keep going."
It'll analyze your track.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it anymore. The one I was using, it was ChatGPT at the time. It can't do it no more.
Because they want you to pay. They want you to pay for the most premium
yeah.
freaking service on it.
Which is a bummer.
I personally use Grok.
Yeah,
Grok.
I've
I
also
gotta
been
try
using
Grok.
Grok's pretty good.
I gotta try Grok. Yeah.
I personally, I think that one has been the most like personalized and not so generic when it comes to like spitting out any information or like trying to like make a prompt of something. Because I felt like with ChatGPT, it was just making everything the same. Like everyone's answers were exactly the same. This was a little more personalized and I don't know. I just feel like it gives information better. Yeah, but
I think you have to be like less specific with Grok. You can generally type something and it'll understand what you're trying to say. Like it's I guess, what is it called? AGI? Like general intelligence is better. Whereas like ChatGPT, you really gotta like type in exactly what you want.
Right. And then too, it's got all these I call them like baby bumpers.
Parameters.
That you're just like, I used to do that, but you know what? I don't do that no more.
Yeah,
so it's like, all right.
They really tried to fine tune it to specifically, like just general use, I guess. But
they don't want to get sued, I guess.
No, yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know, man. Personally, I'm in a mixed boat here. Like I think with the way you're using it is a great tool. I think I think letting AI produce the actual product itself is not really the key.
Use it as a source of knowledge, but don't let it make your fucking track.
Right.
Yeah, because I think that's where, and we were talking about it on Casper's pod. Like people are just want something, just given to them like immediately. Like no, they don't want to work for it, and they want instant gratification. And
right. You can make a whole band up, like they they made the whole bands up and killed it on Spotify, murdered it, and then they reveal like, oh, this was all fake.
Yeah, they're just scamming the streams.
Yes, it seems so terrible.
I mean, I don't know, because like, who says that? Like, I don't know. You just cheat the system, and then they're like, oh no, you can't do that.
Yeah. The only thing I would say about that is that I guess technically, it's always resourcing from the internet. Right? It's always taking. So it doesn't even like necessarily create, if that makes sense. So it's taking bits of this, taking bits of that. So in a weird way, it's like, dang, isn't that all like stolen property at that point? You know what I mean?
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's kind of odd, Yeah.
I think another odd thing, and this is probably super different, but we're seeing a lot of edits getting signed to labels now.
Yeah.
You know, songs that from tracks that we never think they would ever get, like you know, clearance for.
Right.
And they're getting on these big labels, cough cough Hellbent, you know, like like
Sure.
it's these big labels that they're not afraid of that. It feels like infringement. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
That's a fun question. You know, it kind of reminds me of Michael Beebe. So Michael Beebe's big hit was The Hanging Tree. Right.
Yeah.
And it samples The Hunger Games. That's a huge property, right? And that thing ran all summer. It's probably what made Patrick. I mean, obviously he was killing it before. He's still killing it, you know. But that was a huge moment for him, right? So basically, what they have, you know, hey, whoa, oh, yep, you know what? Cease and desist. Take it down.
Take it down. Yeah.
You know what? No problem. It's already done its job. I'll see. I'll take it down. I'll take it down. I'll take it down. No worries.
Fade into the bush.
Fade into the bush. Homer Simpson style.
Yeah.
So most of the time, that's what they're gonna do. So they're basically just gonna put it this way. Now, let's say if you were a big artist and you did that. Well, now I'm gonna sue you because you got money.
I see you got money.
Right?
Yeah.
You got money. Well, you know, there's different. They know approximately how much you're gonna make from it. You know, this is. Put it this way, I like that the fact that music today is no longer taxed as a product, right? It's taxed as marketing.
Interesting.
Right? You know what I mean? So they kind of know you're going to be losing money, you know, making this song, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, it's a really good question. It's a risk. I believe it's a risk they're taking. Now, sometimes maybe there are some ways where like you could be in touch with somebody who runs, say, like a catalog, you know, maybe like a Warner. He has like a section of Warner Chapel or something, right?
Gotcha.
And you could go in there and any song you want, you could remix it. We'll clear it, all good. To have a connect like that is sick.
That'd be fucking badass.
That'd be awesome, and they do exist, and that's how you get all these remixes on, like, say, like what's that radio, satellite radio? You know, you always hear those pop edits, you know, EDM.
Mm-hmm.
I would guess 9 out of 10 and something like that, you know. But when it's more street, like Hellbent, I think they're like, fuck it. Let's see what's up, you know.
That's what I've been thinking too. And in turn, I'm also thinking about the artist, man. Like, we talked about him earlier, Void, man. Like, his, I forgot what track is.
Slime, right?
Slime.
Yeah, that shit was sick.
Sick, man. But then you got Future saying, hey, man.
Did he say anything about that?
But they took it down from Hellbent.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So there they go. Yeah.
So
there you go.
At that point, as an artist, like, what do? You know, like, you just make it a free download.
I mean, you can't even put it on SoundCloud now.
It's very hard.
They'll flag your shit too.
They'll flag it real quick.
That's a tricky, man.
It is.
I mean, you can kind of like, what is the parameter to change the sample enough?
That's another good question. You know, what it comes down to is you could try to cheat the system and try to mess with the algorithm, right? You know, there's various ways. Like, sometimes you could change the format. You don't even have to change the whole pitch. Sometimes that works, but it's not guaranteed to work the whole time, right? I just think of it like more like this. Look, if you're gonna do the edit, you're already using half of the artist's cred to get you moving. All right, so I already owe you half or whatever. But if it gets me to like Hanging Tree or Slime, hey, you want to take it down? That's fine. I'll make another one.
Yeah,
you know, like at that point,
it did the work it needed to do.
Even though the attention, right?
You're not gonna profit from it, but that wasn't the point of it.
No, it's to share a good track and, you know, something that really bopped when you were DJing, because it's usually how it starts. Like, let's see how this one works. Oh shit, dude, this one's killing it. Yeah. I think that's why most of those go further, is because the artist probably saw it work live, and then the labels probably saw it work live, or, you know, their constituencies, and they're like, you know what, fuck it, let's just push it through. It's worth the risk. So
interesting, man.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. It's just a risk. Yeah. So.
It's a wild concept just to even think about, because man, like, you as an artist, you want to make sure you're trying to get the most vision for it, most clarity for it, like get seen by everyone,
right?
And you're gonna just gamble, like, you're gonna gamble with the main artist. Like, hey, it might get taken down, it might not, depending how big it blows up.
Right.
That's the thing. If you get really successful, we gotta take it down.
Right.
Like it sucks, man.
Yeah.
It sucks to think about.
It's kind of a good problem to have, though.
Yeah,
Give and take.
Give and take, right,
Yeah.
right. And it's always it's like music industry is funny. It's like it's the most volatile industry, right? I've been trying at this thing for a while, and it's just the goalpost has been constantly going
back, yeah,
further and further. But then I've been trying to rethink it in a different way. This time is like maybe that goalpost is moving further. Just somebody else figured out something different.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody figured out how to stand out.
Maybe
now
it
we're all
didn't
gonna try
move
to do
further,
that.
but
Yeah.
they repositioned it.
Right.
A different angle.
Exactly. Now I'm like, ooh, I gotta think like that.
Yeah. Forces you to fucking come up with something fresh.
Come up with something fresh.
Sample some crazy fucking indie Spanish vocals and chop it into something crazy.
Right.
Like,
Don't even let the can't even identify it.
Yeah, exactly. Shit
yeah,
like that.
Yeah. Get weird. Get weird.
What do you think, Casper, with all this AI shit going on, and labels signing some edit heavy stuff?
I think I'm in the same boat where it's just like, I think AI is a good tool when it comes to brunting like the medial tasks, right? But I will say that there is also a lot of character that you kind of develop and learn in doing these menial tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's like everything in taste,
Yeah,
like,
that's how you develop your style, right?
It's definitely not something that should be used as a crutch and creatively, like you said, it shouldn't be like making your finished product.
Yeah.
So, because I remember like we were there with Stanley like when this whole shit fucking popped off, and yeah, we would straight up.
Do you want me to do your turn?
We would straight up like if you use it as a tool the way it's meant to be used, you could be as specific as like, hey, I have a Latin Tech track and I'm using Saturn and I'm on Ableton 10 and I have these presets in this order. And I'm looking for this sound, but I'm getting this issue. Like, what do you have for me? And it'll spit you out like fucking, oh, well, you have Saturn, you know what I mean? And it's like tailored to your shit. Obviously now they dialed it back, so it doesn't do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
But like there is like some use to it, at least in terms of like giving you a guidance.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna fucking do the work for you and like give you the correct shit every time. But it's stuff that's like, if you don't have access to like a mentor or you don't have like, because you could watch YouTube videos, but they're just going to give you like a general, like, oh, you want to make your bass louder, just do this. Yeah. It's like,
it's generic. It's not specific to what you got going on.
Right. So I will say like it has its advantages, I should say, but yeah, I think once it gets to like, now you're no longer learning or using as a tool, then it's like, all right, maybe you should take a little step back and hone your craft.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree, man. I think I'm on the same page as you. I think that's a lot of the thing, not to use it as a crutch.
Use it as a tool.
Use it as a tool and learn or know when to say, okay, that's enough. Let me put it down. Let me get back to the real shit.
You gotta decide the line of where it's a tool or where it's taking away now from your creativity.
Right. And hopefully like as an artist, you have like a pretty strong boundary is like, okay, this is no longer mine anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would imagine like us in this room and
lose
most of the people
soul,
we identify with are gonna think the same in terms of like, all right, this is no longer my song if I use it to this extent. So it's like, I mean, I personally would be like, yeah, I didn't even make this song.
Yeah, no, I would take you, man. If you don't, you're a scumbag, man. If you're literally saying, "Oh, I did it, but this shit really did it for me," like, nah.
Yeah, at least for me, like I'd have like
typed in
crazy imposter syndrome.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
Dark, scary tech house.
Fuck that.
It just shoots you.
I mean, at that point, you might as well create like an alternate ego or some shit, and then just release under a fucking a moniker or something, right?
Yeah.
Timberland did that, right? He made up like a fake singer, like a female.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
And where he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna write the lyrics, I'm gonna produce it, and I'm gonna just have AI sing it." And now it has a whole fucking artist that's not even real, which is crazy to me, man. Yeah, super wild.
I mean that there was like an EDM song that popped off that was AI.
I think so too.
That we run it song.
Oh man,
but it was used on like every fucking Instagram reel for like 2 weeks.
Man, I think I know exactly what song you're talking about. I can't think about it.
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's AI, and then like people just immediately just dropped off.
Because
But,
Well, that's good.
yeah, it was a,
That's good.
it was like an electronic song, and
Wow.
you know, no one would have guessed. They're like, oh shit, these vocals are original. It
That's
sounds
crazy,
fresh. It's catchy.
Now
It's
the
like,
whole
you
the
know,
whole song, right?
the whole song. Yeah,
Ugh,
yeah. It was called like "I Run" or something.
And it got hot too. It got,
Dude, it was like when you know how like you'll
Wow.
open Instagram and on the reel it recommends you,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
it already said like tens of thousands of like
Phew.
of reels. Yeah,
See, that's the other
Yeah.
thing. These guys know how to do that section next, right? It's like, okay, how do I make this thing viral? Boom! I know to send it here to do this to make this type
Yeah.
of clip, and then this is gonna take off that way.
that's all bad, man.
Hey, now we got to learn all that stuff too.
Yep.
God dang.
That's another hat to put on, my friend.
So
Oh, fucking hate the hat, man.
No, talk to me, Stan.
Yo.
Self-releasing. You approve or you don't approve?
good question. Good question. Something I've been wrestling with, actually, recently more than ever.
What?
Two things. One, if you got your catalog and you become a success, you get all the money.
Sure.
Dope. To get there, obviously, it's a tough road, but
Yeah, I get you.
in theory,
Yeah.
owning your masters, as they say, I guess, is a huge benefit for you financially. And at the end of the day, now, why do people use record labels? Well, because the record labels bring a certain thing that you don't have at that point, right?
Money.
Whether that's money, prestige, marketing,
Yeah.
DJ
yeah.
contacts,
Marketing,
you
yeah.
know,
Contacts. Yeah.
all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, it's usually a 50-50 split, but you could get a track signed on Defected, but if you're just some DJ nobody knows about, you're going to get still 1,000 plays, right? Even though it's on Defected, right? So it's like, dang, you still got to get out there and really
Do the damn thing.
do the damn thing, right? So self-release, it's a harder road. There was one cat that did really, really good. I can't think of his name right now, but he did really good. I think he got more. He was making like TikTok reels or TikTok reels. Oh my god, I can't think of his name. He started only self-releasing. He's DJ. He's doing festivals and stuff now. Anyway, it'll come to mind. But he went the route which I would jokingly suggest to people: you want to become a DJ, be an influencer first, then be a DJ. You know what I mean? Get the eyes on you first. It'll be a lot easier once you come out with that track. It'll probably suck, and people will still love it. So,
Yeah.
because it's true. It's a sad state, but it's true. You know, because nobody cares about your music. Why should they?
You know what?
Yeah, why should they?
I mean, if you're not anyone relevant to them, they're not going to take it
Right,
for face
right.
value. They're just going to say, hey, all right, well, it's just another track.
Right,
Skip.
right.
I mean, we get blown up with new music every Friday. Do we listen to every single track? I don't know. Just the
Right,
people that
sure.
we know or think that because they're on this label, it should be good.
It's a lot too. I mean, that's got to be a lot to sift through.
Yeah, 100%, man.
And I can't imagine.
it's just so much, you know, and we're getting. It goes back to the saturation issue, right? Because we're so overly saturated
Right.
that it's just hard to kind of really sift through everything.
Yeah, no, it's something that's I noticed even on the higher side of the scene is that a lot of people don't like the idea of people telling people how to do it, say on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, good God, how many electronic music tutorials are there, right?
Yeah, shit ton.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much. So it is like the accessibility of electronic music is insane. All you need is a laptop and a headphones, right? That's all you need, you know? And you could get somewhere, right? So versus say doing a rock band, I mean, one, you got to learn the instrument. Two, you got to get other people to play the instruments. Then you got to be all in a cohesive atmosphere. Then you got to go to a recording studio. And then you got to get that recorded.
Yeah.
Then you got to get it mixed. Then you got to get it mastered. Then you got to do a vinyl print because you're an indie rock band and
Yeah, then you
maybe
got to do
some
the press.
tapes,
Then you got to
yeah.
do the
Then you
marketing.
dude,
yeah.
You're talking about, my God, that is so many people, so many different hoops you got to jump versus electronic.
It's just me and a laptop.
You and a laptop, done.
Easy
Boom,
money.
easy, out. But that's why, like every Friday, there's just
Yeah,
and they're good too. Yeah. Some are great. The quality is still fire. You're not going to know about it. You got to stand out. So I don't know. That's to me the new, not the new, but like what's the currency of music here? It's attention.
Oh yeah.
It's attention. So
I think Deadmau5 had said it recently in an interview, like where you could, be all about the quality of the production and like, give the best like wave file, but people could be playing a shitty MP3 and be all about it,
Yep.
like not give a fuck of how clean like the sound,
right.
It's sad because they should, because especially like on a big sound system like that we see at all these events, like it should be proper music played on these stages.
Yeah, you know what? And I'll say a good side of this is that everything right now is so fragmented, right? There's so many different genres. There's, like we were saying, it's oversaturated. But at the same time, it's kind of neat. What I'm noticing is like through the oversaturation, there are people that like the professional sound per se.
Yeah.
Right? They're just a different group within the massive. So,
Yeah, audio files, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing. I'm like, okay, well, I don't need to become a viral hit. I just want my tribe to hear my music because I'm speaking their language. I want them to enjoy it
They
because,
understand.
and it's kind of neat now, I would say more than ever, is that you could be, I don't know, a deep ambient, melancholy artist and be huge in it. Nobody even knows that genre, but you're touring the world.
Yeah.
Right. So, we talk about how difficult it is, and it is, don't get me wrong. Like I've been trying to figure it out too. But at the same time, I'm kind of realizing like, do I need to be hot on TikTok? Maybe not. Maybe this group doesn't even like TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they would rather see me, doing what I'm naturally doing. Maybe they'd like to see me do a cleansing ritual or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cool. That's my vibe anyway now. So, something like that's kind of neat. Kind of go with that.
No, you're right. I mean, there's like for example, Lane Giordani, man. Before like his big blow up right now, he was touring all over Europe without really anyone knowing him like that out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was already doing the damn thing, doing big events like that, and doing strictly off of the music that he loved, and
There you go.
it's nothing else. And the
Sick.
people like reciprocated that and they enjoyed that, and that's why they kept having him back, and it's just all about, as we go along this road, figuring out like who's really here for my sound or your sound and wants to be there for the long run, because those are the people that we're really making this for, like it's all that matters, man.
Yes, I agree.
Anyone you want to shout out, brother? This has been a great fucking pod, by the way.
Hey, no, shout out to
This hour has gone by quick as shit.
that was a good time. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Shout out first off to my boy Casper over here.
Hey, shout out my Uncle Stan.
Yeah,
right.
man.
actually
Casper
related.
was here for this, and vice versa. Stan came in early. It's been great chopping it up with these guys for a while.
Should we
man.
finally tell them how we met? No, I'm just kidding. That's probably a bad idea.
Hey, episode 2.
Episode 2.
I'm gonna have to hear this
No,
outside.
Next time we'll have a four person pod,
There
man.
we
We'll
go.
get more deep into it.
Yes.
I think overall, man, it was just great talking to you for a while, man. Just kind of seeing what you thought about the scene and just kind of seeing your thought process and what the hiatus was like for a little bit, and just overall like you man as a person, man. Like I was telling you outside before the pod, and our first guest has said it really well. Like we hang out right at the club, but we don't really like know each other like that, man. And it's great to really like sit down and like do this and get to know one another, because truth be told, dude, all we're saying to each other at the club is yeah, because we can't hear anything that anyone is saying, bro.
Yeah,
right? Because
true.
you're just nodding and just trying to enjoy the time with your buddies. And here, at least we could like really get in depth and like really see like what you feel about the current state of things and how you view things. And it's great, man. Overall, I think people are really gonna enjoy it. I think people are gonna learn from it. I think people are gonna laugh at it. I think people are gonna just overall like have a great time, man, listening to it, man.
Well, thank you again. So I really appreciate this. It was
Of course.
a lot of fun. Shout out to John Jose, of course, right?
Shout out to
Nar,
John, man. Yeah, shout out to
We got to get him on here.
Definitely.
Let them know, man. We're always down to do
Nar
it.
and John.
Yeah,
Love 'em
good,
on.
good peeps, and then of course you got Patrick too, and with Patrick, and and Alexa.
Yep.
Those are all fam, and it's really cool. That's the last thing I'll say. I do appreciate the scene a lot. We're all competing. Yes, we're all shooting for the same thing, but it's really nice to have a community vibe with it.
Yeah,
as
it's
we
a
could.
family
That's
in it, right?
Really, I think we're really lucky to have that, which is not common.
It's not, man. It's
No.
or at least it's very hard in
Right.
in what we do and the scene we're in, and specifically SoCal in general, right? We see that we see that a lot with groups outside of just like who we're dealing with, like are constantly fighting, man, constant negativity, and they never want to see others win. And over here, like on this side of the fence, all we want is just nothing but positivity, love, good vibes, and we want everybody to win, man. We don't want anyone to be on the floor. If we do, we're picking them up and trying to make sure they get on the path.
Like you did in Florida, you know, you pulled all those people together and said, hey, let's fucking put our heads together and make this a one thing. You know, everybody wins.
Don't make me shout out the IE too, because like I can't forget about the IE.
Bro, the IE, shit, you know that's
Theo
where we're
Rubin,
from, bro.
a little shout out, a little crucified over there, and of course my boy right here.
Yeah,
and my two boys over there.
Man.
Represent the IE. So
yeah, man. No, thank you for
about that.
real. Appreciate you for your time, man. It's honestly a great time. We will do this again, bro. Like I was telling Casper, and you heard it. Like we will have a creative space hopefully soon to do this in, and
sounds dope.
We'll be doing all types of shit, man, and just overall chop it up again, man. I think it's overall great for the system, you know.
Hell yeah, let me know.
Yeah, man. If you guys have made it this far into the pod, we appreciate you guys so much as always, man. Stay tuned for more episodes of OTR Radio. Till then, guys, I'm D-Lo. This is Denali. We got Stanley Kubrix over here. We got Casper here, man. Shay, what up, guys? Say goodbye. Till then, until next time, guys. Peace out. Much love.
Love
Later.
You.